Bonjour les amateurs d'échecs. Hello chess lovers. As you might have already understood from my greetings that today we are going to cover the topic French defense opening. So the French defense starts with e4, e6. Although this move looks very passive because instead of getting the pawn to the e5, directly taking control of the center, black is purposely playing here e6 and in order to prepare for the move d5 by which black can directly attack white's center. Another reason for the move e6 is that black is opening up lines for his dark squared bishop as well as the queen. The only drawback of this move is after the move d5, black's light squared bishop gets imprisoned behind the pawn chain. Now let's quickly look at the main variations of the French defense. The first one is Winawer Variation. So it starts with e4, e6, d4. Since black did not play e5, so white plays d4 and takes very good control of the center. And now black challenges white's strong center with the move d5. White protects it with knight to c3. And now black here pins the knight with bishop to b4. In most of the cases, black is really looking forward to trade his dark squared bishop for this knight and thereby undermining the defense of this pawn as well as leaving white with two double pawns on the queen side of the board. Now let's move on to the Tarrasch variation. So e4, e6, d4, d5, and now because white doesn't want to deal with double pawns on the queen side and also with the pin of this bishop, so therefore white plays knight to d2, protecting this pawn as well as making the bishop to b4 move a useless move. Why? Because if black plays bishop to b4, then white can simply unpin the knight with the move c3 and thereby counter-attacking this bishop. Now let's look at the classical variation. So e4, e6, d4, d5, knight to c3, and here a lot of black players, instead of pinning this knight, they opt for knight to f6, double attacking this pawn over here. And here white can pin black's knight with the move bishop to g5. So the idea of pinning this knight is that white is really looking forward to build a strong center with f4 and thereby castling queen side of the board and launching a deadly attack on the king side. Enjoying this French playing style of opening? Then do like this video and subscribe to my channel. And now let's move on to the advanced variation. e4, e6, d4, d5, and as the name suggests, we are gonna advance our pawn to e5, grabbing more space on the king side, and black here will likely play on the queen side of the board. It's easy to see because white's pawns are directing towards the king side of the board, whereas black's pawns are directing towards the queen side of the board. And now let's move on to the last variation, which is the exchange variation. It's very simple. As the name suggests, we are going to exchange pawns over here. So let's quickly have a look at it. So e4, e6, d4, d5, black is challenging the center. So white takes the pawn, black takes the pawn, and here is the exchange variation. So the situation on the board is very solid. Both the players have equal chances. So the game tends to get very drawish in the exchange variation of French defense. Now it's time for the question of the day. So, white has just captured black's bishop over here, but that was a big blunder because black is completely winning over here. So, can you find the winning moves for black? Let me know your answers in the comments box and I'll see you in the next video.